here we are, 6 months later, after the release of the Silver Sky SE. This guitar has been out for, like I said, 6 months. We're super excited about it. Every single one that we get in sells within probably the day, honestly. PRS has really nailed it with this guitar in terms of quality, making it affordable versus the Silver Sky CE, which is the more expensive signature model. They really did a great job at getting that same quality just at a more affordable price. So today we're going to talk about it 6 months later after the review. We've been playing with it a bunch, and we're just going to talk about all the different things that we like about it, a couple things that we wish would be a little bit better or different, just kind of some comparisons to this guitar versus other Strats, and even talk about a little bit versus the SE, which we don't have in right now, but yeah. Okay, so let's talk just about some of the minor differences between the SE and the CE model, the more expensive Silver Sky. Honestly, it just comes down to a couple niche little cosmetic things or just little differences. One of the things that I've noticed playing both of them kind of back to back is sometimes on the SE, the frets have a little bit more bump to them. They're not as polished and rounded and carefully hand touched like the CE is. So that's one thing, but honestly that can be easily adjusted and fixed. You can bring it to us or to your local guitar shop and they can polish your frets and get them rounded off perfectly. I know that like PRS, their CE models versus their SE models, they'll tend to pick the best woods for the CEs and they'll use just kind of the regular woods for the SEs. So you may notice that on some of the guitars, but honestly that's like a 1 in 10 thing that you notice, you know, oh, this is a really nice cut of this wood on this specific guitar. So that honestly not a huge deal breaker unless you're really a die-hard cosmetic person and you're like, I have to have the grain perfect the way I like it. So that'd be something, I guess, to compare. The other thing is these have non-locking tuners. The CE has locking tuners, so you can play a little harder and stay in tune. So that's something, but again, you can switch those out anytime. I think it's relatively affordable to get new locking tuners for your SE if you're into that. When you're comparing guitars with the high-end one versus kind of the more affordable range or whatever, the difference in stuff is going to be like the pickups are hand wound on the nicer one and then they're machine wound on the other, and it's that kind of thing. So most of the time you really can't tell the difference. One thing that we were talking about is at this day and age, guitars made overseas are a turnoff to some people, and it really shouldn't be. At this point we have such great quality. I mean, most brands, not speaking for all of them, but PRS specifically has great quality control in their overseas factories, and so guitars that are made overseas really should not be looked at negatively versus the American made ones. At this point in some brands I think it's more just bragging rights, saying that, yeah, I have the American made one. So yeah, that's something that I wish a lot of people would understand, is that at this point we're kind of in the era of it doesn't matter as much, which is up for debate. I'm sure there will be people in the comments that'll be ripping on me for that, but that's what we were talking about. So that's something to keep in mind, is that this one versus the CE, this one is made overseas, the CE is made in America. So that's going to be a difference there. So there's a couple things that we really love. It's super playable. The neck feels great, shape-wise. It's just really comfortable. It doesn't feel chunky, doesn't feel awkward. It just feels even up and down. So it's very natural to play, which signature of PRS guitars. They're just awesome, playable instruments. We were talking about how this could hold its own against any Strat of another brand, kind of in the same price range. I would feel very confident saying that this is holding its own, even though it's a relatively new model compared to some of the vintage brands that have been making Strats for a long time, this really can hold its own with any of those. So awesome guitar. We really love it. They're selling like crazy. Hopefully you can get your hands on one if you're interested. Let's play through a couple different things on the different pickups, and we can just kind of go over how it sounds. You can get a good feel and good ear for the PRS SE. Okay, so playing this thing, we're going to have it on the bridge pickup first, and I'll play a chord and then a little riff, and we'll do the same thing for all the other pickups. Then we'll switch to bridge and middle pickup. All right, now just middle. And then we'll do middle and neck. And then we'll do just neck. Cool. Now let's throw some distortion on, see how that sounds. All right, so now we've got some distortion, and we're going to play through the different pickups, and you can kind of hear the difference there. So this is just bridge pickup. And then we'll do bridge and middle pickup. And then we'll do just middle. And then we'll do middle and neck. And then we'll do just neck. Okay, so the pickups here, you're going to hear a lot of that bright tone come out when we're playing on the bridge specifically, and then you're going to hear that warm, kind of noodlier, I don't really know the best word, but noodlier is my go-to word with that, tone when you're playing on the neck pickup with the Strat. The other thing is then when you put it into the second and fourth position, it does a great job at canceling hum. This is no playing on the second and fourth position, and then when you hit to the fourth position, obviously you hear more hum because those two pickups act as the humbucker there. So it's really great. You can get awesome, clean rock tones when you're playing in that position, both on the middle and on the bridge, and then again with the neck and the middle because those two pickups act as a humbucker there. So yeah, awesome guitar, both for clean and for heavy. If you have an SE, let us know down in the comments what your thoughts are, or if you've played both in a store or through friends or whatever, let us know what your thoughts were on the comparison between the SE and the CE Silver Skies or other brands. So yeah, thanks for watching. Check us out again next week for more videos, and let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about next. Here we are, 6 months later after the release of the Silver Sky SE. What a journey it's been. We can do that if you want, that's kind of fun. A journey, falling in love.